So let's talk about you. So you are an explorer, 3 million market cap. Let's just talk about some of the numbers first, so we understand sort of what you're dealing with. So how much money has been invested into the company to date?
The company has been going for about 7 years. I've been with the company 3.5 years. And our typical yearly cash burn, for want of a better number, and it varies from about £350,000 a year to about £1 million a year. And when we're spending the larger amount of money, it means that the level of activity, particularly the level of advanced activity, is very high. When we're spending the smaller amount of money, like we're obviously doing now because we can't do any field work for obvious reasons, we'll probably be going below £350,000 per annum, in that we're doing mainly desktop work and obviously doing all the compliance work in terms of keeping our licenses in good order, audit fees, stock exchange fees, etc. So our yearly cash burn, if one averages it out over the last 7 years, is round about £500,000 per annum. And much of that goes directly in the ground itself. That we don't have a corporate office. What you see behind me is my office in Irene in South Africa, where we manage our operations from here into South Africa, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. And we don't actually tend to have full-time employees. I'm the only full-time employee in Botswana Diamonds, and we tend to have campaigns on our exploration projects, of which we have 2 in Zimbabwe, 2 in Botswana, and 4 in South Africa. So we do campaigns on each of the projects as and when we see that the criteria are good to make an investment in them, and depending on the availability of funding.
Right. So you're saying to me the company has raised in total in 7 years £3.5 million. Got it. So how much?
I'll have to double check that exact number, but it'll be round about that number.
Okay. And how much cash are you sitting on today?
Well, we raised £350,000 in March of this year.
Okay.
And we were barely able to start our field programs before the pandemic started. So we're reasonably well cashed up at the moment. We've done all the things that other companies have done that we're obviously not active at the moment, apart from desktop work. As soon as the lockdown is lifted, we'll continue with our field work. But we're very, very mindful of the fact that companies like ours tend to go back to the market once every year, twice every 18 months or thereabouts. So any funding environment, we can't look at in the short term. So we've got to make our money last a hell of a lot longer. And we've put in measures to actually do that too as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, your share price saw a rise towards the end of last year, and then fell back down pretty quickly before Christmas. I mean, what was that caused by?
Well, we tend to issue between 12 and 18 news releases a year, all based on the work that we are doing. We announced the issuing of a mining permit on the project Marsfontein, which is immediately adjacent to a diamond mine which had a 3-day payback, and a published 3-day payback on that. And our share price rose very fast, actually, on the back of that. And over the passage of time, it drifted downwards. Equally, last week, as your investors may see, that we announced the issuing of a number of new prospecting licenses and the renewal of old prospecting licenses in Botswana, literally a day before they were locked down, and went under what everyone else is actually doing. But you saw our share price strongly reacted to that too as well. And I would imagine over the next couple of weeks, as we are unable to do any work, it would drift downwards. And once we're in a position to go back to do work, and we make positive announcements on the back of that work, the share price will go back up again.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, it's all relative in the sense you're £3 million company, so therefore very little trading would have a positive or negative, a significant positive or negative effect on you with very little shares traded.